You know, someone just up and sends you some shit, and you're like, oh my god, let's get into it. Look, I'm gonna have a very controversial thing that I'm gonna say, and is going to absolutely eviscerate you. Is going to hit you with the 5 second stun. Like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Alright. Apex Legends is a gacha game. Boom. And you're probably thinking that no, it's not. Why do you make sense? It's like, okay, what is the qualification of a gacha game? Right? What's considered like putting in resources to roll the dice to get things out of it, right? Effectively gambling. But don't most AAA games have loot boxes? Right? You know, the thing where you put in a resource, roll the gotcha, or I'm sorry, forget I said that. You roll your RNG and you get something out of it. Am I wrong? So what makes like Counter-Strike nowadays any different from Wuthering Waves? Like I'm recording, right? I'm thinking I'm about to get an answer or an argument, but I'm really not. Or what makes Apex, like any game with any type of microtransactions, where you effectively roll a slot to get something, like what makes that any different from a gacha game? Because I will bet, I will put money on this, right? That many of these games, like many of the gacha games, just took the same mechanics from AAA Western games and their loot boxes. Only the gacha games are doing it better because they actually have appealing looking characters and actually surprisingly and interesting stories and aesthetics. Whereas in the AAA gaming industry, they dump hundreds of millions of dollars into this, only to get completely ass blasted by Wuthering Waves. And I will admit, Dispatch is a good game, but to call for gacha games to be disqualified, let's ask ourselves, why the fuck are people moving to gacha games over, like, Call of Duty? Like, why are people choosing Wuthering Waves over Call of Duty? Or why are gacha games even on the table, even matching up to AAA games? Because people don't want to do this thing. They don't want to put points on the graph. They don't want to, like, draw the line. They don't want to ask, why is it that many gacha games are standing neck and neck with AAA games? They just want to be emotional and spurg out and act irrational. And when I grew up, like, a lot of mobile games just had that idea that, oh, they're cheaply made, you have to spend that real world currency just to get the fucking goofy coins, and with the goofy coins you can get in-game advantages. But what countered that was legitimately good games. I'm talking like early pre-2010s, right? Like, why the fuck would I play Clash of Clans if I could just play World of Warcraft and get a better experience? Why would I play stupid mobile games if I can play StarCraft, like legitimately good games? You know, what AAA companies, or I guess they weren't really AAA at the time, but what they used to be before they did everything in their power to piss away the consumer base, like the faith the consumer base had in them. I'm not saying Dispatch did this in particular, because Dispatch is a good game to my knowledge. What I'm saying is, let's analyze how we got to this point before we flip the fuck out and start crying. I mean, so Dispatch lacks nomination before the event could have been seen as a surprise, given the outpouring of love the game has received since the episodic release. And again, people were getting Matt Wuthering waves. I mean, the fact that Claire Obscure, I called this before it even started. Every category that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 was in is just going to win. Like, I called this when it won the first award, and I haven't been wrong throughout. I think that's a bigger problem, is you can just call most of the things, and Claire Obscure being next to get certain games you just never fucking heard of, and having certain lists that they just win out. Like, you can agree it's a good game, but should it sweep? No. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. And going after, again, just Wuthering Waves, like, actually, I was wrong. Okay. There was one category, and that's the player's voice. 100% of the players deciding over Claire Obscure. Like, this is the one category that they lost out on, was the actual players having a choice, and they chose Wuthering Waves. And now Dispatch fans are crying about Wuthering Waves. I don't understand. Dispatch campaign was mostly successful, beating 30 massive games to make the top 5. But it didn't have the power of Gacha. These games often offer players awards for voting for them in awards like Player's Voice. I mean, this was like the only award. The majority of the time, it's just a panel of people that, decide over gamers. I don't know why that's the case. I feel like that's why, that's why the Game Awards is going down this bad path. And again, I'm not saying Claire Obscure didn't deserve Game of the Year. I'm just saying what it was up against in the games they put on the list. I mean, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 should have won Best RPG over Claire Obscure, even though I think it's probably just a better game. But it didn't. It undoubtedly helped Genshin back and win in 2022, with the game offering awards if it won. And Dispatch fans, like Sonic fans back then, don't think that's fair. Why? I mean, maybe there could, best narrative. I think maybe Dispatch should have won because it smacked, story elements along with, the actual gameplay, and your choices mattered. Again, I don't know why people are screaming at the gacha. It's like, why are gacha games and indie games completely blowing AAA games out the fucking water? Ghost of Yote was on every single list, but didn't win a single award. Call of Duty 7 on most lists that it was on didn't win a single award. Well, Ghost of Yote wasn't on every single list, but every single list it was on, it didn't win. Right? Hell, even Death Stranding 2 didn't win an award. This is, I guess, just where the AAA gaming industry is, and people are going to get the win. I think just going after Wuthering Waves, it's a bad call. You need to go after why games like Wuthering Waves, a gacha game, is blowing AAA games out the water. Like, why is that? I don't know. I mean, let's try to figure this out before we flip the fuck out about it, right? But anyway, that's all I really got to say about this. Peace out.